Noel from Rittenhouse. Today we're going to discuss and show how to put together the high pressure tree kit that you buy. The pump, the motor, and the gearbox all come unassembled. It's a D813. It's a 21 gallon a minute pump, does 725 psi. The gearbox is direct drive, which means mounts directly to the pump and to the engine. And your engine, a 13 horse Honda. So we're going to start assembly of it, and all this stuff comes without oil except for the pump. They're shipped that way. The engine needs oil, and the gearbox needs 80-90 weight gear lube. Now, first thing we're going to do is mount the extra support plate that comes with the gearbox. So what we're going to do, just lay it up on here. Then we're going to open up the bolts, dump them out, and get the ones that we need to mount the plate. Okay, now there is actually 8 bolts that hold this plate in place, and 4 washers. So what we're going to do is mount the plate now, making sure that we get the washer support onto the bolt. The 4 washers go to the outside bolts. And it's easier to do if you just start the threads so you can actually slide the washers in behind. And your last one. Leave it loose until you get your other 4 bolts started, and then we'll tighten them up from there. Okay, now just put them all in loose, and then we'll tighten them up. Hand tighten the outside ones first. Take the Allen key, tighten up the center 4. You're just snugging them up so it doesn't matter if you do a cross pattern on it or not. At this point, you just draw them all in tight. Okay, now we take our wrench, tighten up the bolts on the outside first, do a cross pattern. Now we tighten up the center ones. Using a cross pattern here as well. We'll go back and check the outside bolts. Make sure that they're all snug. And that takes care of that plate. So we'll leave this aside, and we'll go over to the gearbox and install it on the pump. Now you'll notice on the pump that it has a metal plate on it. This has to be removed before we can install the gearbox. If this doesn't work, you can always get a little bar and pry them. bolts that you've taken off in this plate can be discarded. They're not required anymore. This metal ring stays in place. Now we take the gearbox, take it apart. Inside you'll find the gear for the pump. Now, kit comes with a gasket, actually two of them, one for the center of the gearbox, one for the back of the gearbox. This you'll have to line up once you run the bolts through that hold the gearbox together. Push this part on the gearbox first so that you can install the ring. Now, there's actually 6 bolts that hold this together, this ring on to the pump itself. There's 3 large and 3 short. So what you do is you just do 1 large, 1 short, 1 long, 1 short. Doesn't matter which one you start with. Making sure that you put the locking ring in behind it. Now you can tighten them down with a wrench by hand. Just snug them up. Doing a pattern just like you would do on a tire on a car. Once you have them snugged down by hand, I recommend that you use an impact wrench to tighten them up completely using the star pattern. And that's taken care of. Now, we'll have to install the back plate and the back gearbox. There's a gasket here that goes in between that seals so the oil doesn't leak out. It actually goes on this half of the gearbox. What I normally do is I test fit to see if it fits properly without curling or any distortion. If it fits snug and you can see all the holes clearly, you're good. If not, what I recommend you do is soak it in water till it gets pliable so that you can pull it down a little bit, help stretch it. Sometimes they don't quite match up the way they should. Now the fun begins. You line up the back gasket.